Well, good evening, everybody, to our show, Sphons CCW Live Show, obviously brought to you by Sphons CCW. A few minutes later in the evening, we were able to get things rousted around and things closed up properly. Give us a little extra time. What do we got? It's class schedule. Concealed carry 919. A couple weeks away yet. There's 4 spots in that one. 10-3, 5 spots. 10-18, there's 9 spots left. So if you need a class for concealed handgun license, then those are the next 3 coming up. Advanced classes, 9/12 and 13th. Defensive pistol will be 2 days. Going to need 500 rounds of ammo for that one. 10-10 is going to be pistol fundamentals. 250 rounds of ammo for that one will do you just fine. Both good classes, both up on our website. Go and check them out. Tells you everything you're going to need. Holsters and magazine carrier requirements and magazines and stuff like that. Instructor classes, 10-3 and 4 is going to be NRA pistol instructor. 10-24 and 25 is going to be NRA rifle instructor. So we have a couple instructor classes coming up. If you want to get into one of those, the 10-3 and 4 class is about half full already. So there's a few spots open there. If you want to get into that one, then go for it. The rifle instructor class has got a few spots left. But there are some signups in that one, so they do go pretty quick. If you want to get in on one of those, head on over to our website and get signed up so you don't miss your spots. What do we got for a range and carry tip? You got that on the next page here?
Yep.
We got home defense scenarios, 2 guns and 3 guns.
Yeah. Well, I guess 1, 2, and 3 guns. So as far as that goes, we spend so much time talking about concealed carry. It's like it just kind of makes sense to practice your home defense plans so that you know what's going on. Your whole family knows what's going on, and guns in small spaces and hallways, things like that, or trying to load your gun if you have one that's not loaded, in a small safe or something like that.
In the dark.
Yeah. Practicing loading that thing and getting it into action as quick as you can. I know a lot of people carry it or have it unloaded in a safe.
Yeah.
It's like it don't do you much good, but even if you have one that's on your nightstand or something and you bump in the night and the magazine's out, you got to find both pieces and do all of that in the dark.
Okay, hopefully we're back. Right in the middle of the show, the PC just goes, we're going to restart right now, and you have an issue.
Yeah.
Couldn't you notify me or something? It's been a computer day. One of these days I'll figure out how to just load them in the trap machine down to the club and blast the crap out of them.
Is it going on YouTube now?
Yeah, let's see if we're live on YouTube. Hold on a second here, folks. We're back up live on YouTube. So
all right.
And I think
we should be good. So carry tip, home defense scenarios, or range tip, home defense scenarios. Make sure you can load in the dark. Make sure that you can run the machine safely in the dark, which is your firearm. Know your blind corners Make sure your family knows where to go, what to do when something happens, and not just a robber in the middle of the night thing.
Yeah.
Fire, tornado, tree falls down. I mean,
absolutely.
Lots of us have dealt with that over the last couple of weeks. Trees coming down. I got a big one down in my yard, so it is absolutely essential that we make sure that we can do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have kids running out of rooms in front of us and stuff like that. So anyway, and this Mrs. Diane, if I'm pronouncing this right, John Bader or John Bader?
Yeah, it's Diane Bader.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we did freeze up. The computer stopped.
Yeah. It's kind of what?
Hopefully you got some good shots of us all going.
I was like, what the heck's going on?
Carry tip. Getting cooler. It is.
It is.
Finally.
Yeah.
We're getting into the bad weather and rainy season, so it is going to be absolutely imperative that you
start practicing with that stuff on.
Yep. And the one thing that we always see, not just the one thing, but something that we always see, especially when it's raining, is clothing sticks to pretty much everything that it is in contact with when it's wet. So, sweeping a garment or pulling a t-shirt or something like that is going to drastically change when you are soaking wet versus when you are dry. It is. I just cannot stress this enough. You need to go out and practice in the pouring down rain, because if you're caught in a parking lot in the pouring down rain and you have to do something with it, it's going to be a real steep learning curve.
Yep. And even handling a gun when it's wet.
Yes.
If your hands are wet and you're trying to handle that gun in a safe manner and still get shots on target, if you haven't ever done it before, you need to try it.
Yes.
And we get a lot of comments. Well, I don't take my guns out in the rain. Well,
yeah,
you go out in the rain, you carry it.
Yeah.
What?
I don't take my guns to the range when it's raining.
It's plastic and blued steel. It won't hurt it. Trust me.
Right.
As long as you don't leave it wet for weeks on end.
Yeah. Right.
The other thing that's in there is low light. We do some low light and defensive pistol, and it's dark half of the day.
Yeah, we're getting into that period. It's already starting to get dark. Shortly after 8, it's starting to get dark. Next thing we know, here in the next couple months, it's going to be 5:30. It's going to be dark. So we're going to spend, in that period of time where you're pretty much going to spend. The only time you're going to spend in the daylight is when you're at work. So all of the other times when you're out there on your free time, going to Walmart and the mall and all those the restaurants, all that stuff where you're people are on the lookout for stuff like that. It's going to be dark, so you really
and that's what the bad guys like.
Yeah, darkness is. They love darkness. They don't like the light.
And it doesn't have to be
on them.
It doesn't have to be dark. It just in the sun setting in the evening, shaded areas and whatnot. If they've never pulled out and went, man, I know they built this gun with sights. It hopefully it doesn't happen to you, but it's happened. Hunting situations, defensive situations, you need to be able to handle that and deal with it. Have a backup light, have night sights,
another
something
reason
like
to
that.
carry one of these.
Yeah.
Little stream light.
All the extra clothes you're going to have on, jackets, sweaters, flannels, everything like that. You got to practice with that stuff. It's not a time to find out that you can't get your t-shirt or your flannel shirt up over top of your pistol. It's not a time to find out that when your jacket is zipped up, you can't. It's too long for you to actually pull it up to clear it. So, and we see a lot of that kind of thing. So it's just goes back to testing your gear out.
Even the reach, if you have extra shirt on and a jacket, even the reach isn't going to be straight down anymore. It's going to be kind of around whatever ball of clothing you have
especially
on your
especially
side.
as it you get into Carhartt season and stuff like that. It's
a little bit of a different ball game.
Way different.
If anybody never notices, that's why the reason if you have anybody pays attention to like police coats, have a zipper on the side that goes up like this far, up both sides of it, so that they can unzip that and put it inside their gun, so that they can still access it.
Yeah.
It's such an issue that they have specialized equipment to deal with it. So that's something you need to really watch for.
Yep.
So we've had some stuff happen in the local area. We like to do the local type stuff first and foremost. We had a manhunt in Carroll County, right?
Yep.
Manhunt spanning nearly 8 hours on Thursday, September 3rd, ended with no injuries, with the suspect's capture in Leettsville. Sheriff Dale Williams said a tip was received from an anonymous caller that Paul Andrew Miner Jr. was at a residence located on Antigua Road Southwest in Leettsville. Williams said there were several outstanding warrants on theft charges in Stark County for Miner, age 42, whose address is listed as East Tusk Street in Canton. When Major Calvin Graham, Corporal Troy Watson, and Lieutenant Kyle Trisner arrived at the house in Leesville, Miner ran inside with officers at the front and back doors. Miner exited the house through the basement door and ran to a Jeep Cherokee. He attempted to stop Miner by shooting and deflating the Jeep's right front and rear tires. However, Miner drove through the adjacent churchyard onto Caddy Road Southwest, where he abandoned the vehicle and fled on foot in the wooded area. The State Highway Patrol deployed a fixed-wing aircraft and a helicopter to search by air. Officers from the New Philadelphia Post, as well as Muskingum Watershed Conservancy District Rangers, assisted in the ground search throughout the afternoon and into the evening. Canine Officer Shane Bone and Canine Nuke found Miner hiding under bushes in front of the church in Leettsville. He was unarmed when he was taken into custody shortly after 9 p.m. Miner was transported to the Carroll County Jail. On the 4th, he was charged with 1 count of failure to comply with order or signal a police officer, third-degree felony, and bond was set at $100,000. Miner will be arraigned in Carroll County Municipal Court on September 9th.
Go back to that. If you plan on running, you ought to put shoes on.
Yeah, well, exactly. I don't know if he planned on running, but I don't think his socks are going to make it. I'll tell you that.
No, no, probably not.
Dude's having a bad day. We talk about accuracy pretty much every class and how important it is and how you're responsible for every round fired until it comes to rest on the ground and is harmless. And we got a news story here that is going to highlight that. A dog attacks a Canton man before a bystander shoots them both. So, a bystander who shot a dog attacking a man also shot the man, according to police. While the man was under attack by his neighbor's pit bull, his 66-year-old friend took action. He pulled a gun and shot the dog dead, but accidentally wounded the dog attack victim in the process, according to police. The 61-year-old victim, who had been attacked shortly before 12:30 p.m. Monday outside his 15th Street Northeast home, suffered a dog bite to his left leg and a gunshot wound to his right.
Oh, well, that's a bad day. Yeah.
Officers had been called in response to the attack, during which the older man fired 3 rounds at the dog, striking his friend in the right calf. The shooter, Garrett, said has a concealed carry permit, which I would bet he's not going to have for very long.
Anymore.
The victim was taken to area hospital with injuries described as not life-threatening. Garrett said the dog's owner was cited with misdemeanor count of having a dog running at large. The man who fired the gun has not been charged. Yeah. He ought to be slapped.
At least.
A broomstick probably would have been a better response to that.
Yep.
than his pistol. If the dog's only biting him in the leg, you're going to take a chance of injuring or killing the already injured party who has got teeth in his leg. So he's having a worse day than you are.
Well, and the best thing I have ever found for breaking up a PO'd dog was to pick them up. Just pick them up. As soon as their feet leave the ground, they open their mouths. When we're doing all them dog foster and stuff like that, we'd have 10, 12 dogs that just got out of the pound at our house, and they're all stressed out, and they're they get every once in a while you get a couple get into it, wheel over and pick them up.
Yeah,
you whichever one you can get a hold of first, you pick them up off the ground, and they let go. Yeah. They instantly let go. If they just get freaked out, they instantly let go. Like, oh shit!
Yeah. Well, there was probably 57 different things that could have been done. I don't know. I read this headline, and the first thing I thought of was the easiest way to end a hostage situation: shoot the hostage. But
what is right is not always prudent.
Yes, exactly. Right. But the guy, he hit his neighbor. He shot him in the calf, for Pete's sake, on the leg that wasn't injured, because he can't shoot, or the tussle was going on and he didn't wait until he had a clear shot. So just remember, you're responsible for every round fired. Don't shoot your neighbor in the leg over him getting bit by a dog. Yeah. This one stirred up a bunch of controversy. We'll see if this reloads. I got to get rid of all the ads too, since my computer went down. Chardon local school bans a thin blue line flag after a football player carries it on the field. This has got a lot of people wound up in the area. And a little backstory, I guess the football coach may be a police officer, retired police officer, or something like that, or was a police officer. I'm not 100% sure. In a statement to the community, Hanlon said the incident understandably drew responses on social media and direct communications to the district officials. Based on discussions that ensued over the weekend, it does not appear that this action was motivated by racism, rather a show of support for one of our coaches who serves as a police officer, as well as for the first responders in our community who have developed a special relationship with our school and the students in the wake of our school tragedy of February 27, 2012. Nevertheless, it is understandable how this could be interpreted as a racially motivated action and therefore not acceptable in a school community. I don't really see how it can be taken as a racially motivated action, but I guess some people would take that. The other thing is, high school kids are free to express their First Amendment rights just the same as somebody who's not in high school. Yes, it was a high school sponsored event, but if they're going to come out with something like that, then it needs to be all statements for any purpose. Our school district is fundamentally anti-racist, as reflected in the Board of Education policies ranging from equal employment opportunity to matters of student and staff activities. Our goal is to ensure all students, staff, and community members are provided the same opportunities to grow and learn with Chardon schools. It makes me wonder whether or not it was the actual players or somebody in the school or what that had a fit about this.
I don't know.
School district policy does not permit engagement in political activity, and as a result, the thin blue line flag will not be a part of the future pregame activities and Chardon athletic events, which does not permit engagement in political activity during a school event or at all. The thin blue line flag is considered a symbol of support and solidarity with members of law enforcement. For decades, it's been used to celebrate police officers, but in the wake of Black Lives Matter movement, and it's called to end police brutality against people of color, the flag has taken on a different meaning for some. The district said it's working on a plan with the athletic director to review any pregame display for possible connections to any form of discrimination for particular political views. On Tuesday, Chardon Police Chief Scott Nias posted the statement below on the department's Facebook page. last Friday night and showed support to one of their coaches who also serves as a police officer, and in recognition of first responders throughout our community, the Hilltopper football team carried a thin blue line flag onto the football field with them. Our officers appreciated the show of support demonstrated by the players, as this has been an incredibly difficult and challenging time for many law enforcement officers across the country in Chardon. We greatly value our partnership with local law enforcement and first responders. We agree with the Chardon Police Chief Scott Neely's statement that the thin blue line flag is perceived differently by different people. For some, it has political meaning. Chardon Board of Education would like to make it clear that we are in full support of Dr. Hanlon's and the administration's decision regarding the football team's display of the thin blue line flag on the field at last week's football game, because it was displayed as part of a pregame ceremony under the supervision of school staff. It was construed as sanctioned by the school district. Political activity by staff members is not allowed under Board of Education policy. Okay, so that clarifies it a little bit. They said it doesn't diminish the district's support and appreciation for police and first responders. The thing is,
I mean,
that's not a political party, though.
It is. It's not a political party, and that's the thing. Pushing that into a political party, just seems wrong to me. That's like,
that means you could take any organization. I mean, we deal a lot with Save 22. You could say that, can't do that. That's a political party.
Well, the other thing, that if somebody carried an American flag, which I think that's heading in that direction.
Yeah.
Somebody carried an American flag, then they could say that would be, offensive to some people. So I think this is a very, 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 very slippery slope. And I think probably, in my opinion doesn't mean anything, but the school board should have said, we don't have anything to do with this particular display. If the players take it upon themselves to do such a thing, then it is their responsibility and been the end of it. But that's not what happened. All right. Police seeking information after Cleveland officer and a second person shot and killed. Cleveland police officer was shot and killed in the city's west side Thursday evening. Police are looking for any information surrounding this tragedy and are still looking for a suspect or suspects. Cleveland Police Chief Calvin Williams early Friday morning said the officer who was killed was in the department for 25 years. Cleveland lost one of its finest in the line of duty. He was out doing what all officers try to do, try to protect the people of our city, and gave his life. Anyone with information is asked to call 911 or Crime Stoppers. Police Union President Jeff Fulmer said the shooting happened around 10 p.m. near West 65th and Storer. I-team sources say the car the officer was in was shot several times and he crashed. Fulmer says the officer was taken to the hospital, passed away. The officer's name is not being released at this time.
In other words, he was ambushed.
It sounds that way. The union president also said a second person died in the incident. The person was not the suspect. Fulmer said the officer was very well liked and is asking everyone for prayers.
I think I saw that on Facebook. Somebody put a end of watch post. I think he was a detective.
Yeah. So it looks like it probably was ambushed for whatever reason, just being a police officer.
There was earlier in the week, there was a news article about Chicago. They were talking about that a bunch of the gangs in Chicago said the
shoot on sight order.
Yeah.
The other thing we got, some big time news people have picked up our protest that happened in town a while back, and have some folks interviewed some folks. What was said in the video wasn't really out of the ordinary, anything that you wouldn't find any resident of this town talking about. I don't think we're going to watch that. We're going to leave that for you guys. I did post it in the comments. I will put a link to this right on our Facebook page so you can go check it out. You may see some familiar faces in there. You may not. Pretty much all of us who were down there got on in the video, so it is what it is. Some people have some opinions. They're allowed their opinions. We're allowed to disagree with their opinions. They were here, and they at least didn't There was no
Voice of America.
Yeah. This is put out by Voice of America. There was some heated exchanges for several minutes there, but we are fortunate enough, unlike so many other towns in the States here at the moment, that nothing's on fire. The protests aren't continuing. It looks like the Back the Blue march that was supposed to happen tomorrow night is going to be held in Massillon rather than here. So hopefully we won't have a bunch of counter protesters down here, which would be great because everybody's got a lot of stuff to do. But anyway, I encourage everybody to go and check the video out and come up with something on their own. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna put this up on our Facebook page. I think we're gonna do that right now. And we'll see if we can get this accomplished on the desktop site. There we go. If I can type. And it's telling me I should have capitalized here.
And it's up, guys.
So it's now up on Facebook page. You can go check it out. Let us know what you think. And it's I know the reporter, so I'll full disclosure, I do know the reporter. I've met him before. We were in one of his other videos.
Did Mike post that video?
Yeah, I think I actually have a link to that. On
was the same reporter in Budget Guns and Gear had. It was a news report. Us doing some shooting down there at the local club, and him going to Washington for a 2A protest that was happening there. So it was the same. It was the same reporter. So,
and I think I'll probably put that video up as well for you guys to check out. So because I don't think I put that up for you. I was waiting for the entire series to come out to put it up, but I think being that more relevancy now, we'll put it up and you guys can check that out also. Next thing we got here is every town for gun control. They're kind of losing their minds a little bit. Their internal memo said remain calm.
Yeah.
Because a 2020, we are up to 25,934,334 firearms.
3.9 million in June.
Sold in 2020.
Well, NICS checks.
NICS checks. So what we got to remember is that doesn't include personal sales. It also doesn't include that you can buy more than one firearm per check. So just shy of 26 million firearms sold in 2020 so far.
It was only that's a we're almost above at 2017.
We're almost at 2018's numbers.
We're close to
2016.
Few million in 2019.
Yep. 2016 is getting pretty close. We approve this message. Imagine how difficult it must be for America's gun control advocacy operations these days while people are buying literally every gun manufacturers can produce as fast as they can crank them out. Well, ammo too.
Yeah, ammo too.
Yeah. They issued a press release yesterday, which amounts to a call for everyone to remain calm. With protesters being shot in the streets and gun violence on the rise, more guns is not the recipe for public safety, said Nick Suplina, Managing Director of Law and Policy for Everytown for Gun Safety. Fortunately, polls show this jump in sales leads more Americans to support common sense gun safety laws, which is bad news for every 2020 candidate who is still taking orders from the gun lobby, starting with President Trump. This dude is dead wrong. Yes. He's just like these guys don't have. They are so out of touch with the American population that it's not funny. It is literally not funny what these people think and say and do from time to time.
Yeah, well, you can go through and look at. I mean, just some of the stuff they've said in the past. Some of the just absolute epic. Their lack of knowledge on anything. That absolute epic fails. You know. Why does somebody need a machine gun? Well, them are highly regulated through the NFA Act.
Yeah.
We don't have machine guns. No. You know, they just say just off the wall stuff. Yep. Well, if we get rid of the one lady years ago said, well, if we get rid of the high capacity magazines, everybody will shoot them up and then they'll be gone.
You know, they don't
there's nothing to do with.
Yeah. No. They can reload that.
I can reload the magazine, you goof. Yeah.
And he says, gun sales have been surging since the pandemic began, so it's impossible to identify the exact reason for this month's sales, said Rob Wilcox, Deputy Director of Policy and Strategy for Everytown. But it's clear that
you can't identify. It's impossible to identify the exact reason for this. What are you, a moron?
He is. Yes, he is. This guy resembles that statement. It is clear that President Trump and gun companies are recklessly fear-mongering every day, which is dangerous and wrong at a time when the threat of gun violence is on the rise and hospitals are overflowing with patients.
Well, first off, hospitals aren't overflowing with patients.
No.
I talked to, 2 months ago, when they said it was really bad, I talked to people from 9 different states, and every one of them in major cities, Atlanta, out all the way out Utah, Buffalo area, Virginia, Richmond area. It was a gun class. They were gun guys, so they're curious about all this stuff. So they do a little poking around, driving around, talk to friends and family, and find out. Yeah. Well, all these, they got hospitals in Georgia laying people off.
Yeah, yeah. Well, same thing happened here.
Same thing everywhere. So
they're not overflowing.
Yeah. On top of that,
and the CDC comes out with a statement that says 9,600 deaths.
Well, and if they're living under the what they keep calling the stuff, the hot dog and weenie roasts that are peaceful protests.
Yeah, right.
You see nobody singing Kumbaya out there.
And the thing is, these people are they're just so friggin' out of touch. It's not funny. All right, so
I can't look at this without
on the protest mantra. We've got a little humor for you, and this is great.
Cowbell.
Turn your sound up. Yeah, it is important to turn your sound up.
This is great,
right? So, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to turn the sound up for you a little bit. So, everybody ready for this?
This is Antifa.
Here it comes, the dude with the smoke. 2 down.
Roll up with the cast iron to kill it.
Got him both.
God, that's gotta hurt like hell.
Look at them. They're both still on the ground like, durr.
What the heck was that?
The thing was, the dude didn't even drop his smoke. He was the way he went, buddy.
There you go.
There you go. So, this is a long article. We're just going to scroll down to the videos, see if I can find them here. Taking this page to load here, and all those stupid ads. Here we go. All right. We're going to go full screen with these things, I think. We're going to see if we can get our mugs out of the way so we can talk to them a little bit. All right. Hopefully everybody can still hear us. Backstory on this. A couple regular protest organizers decided that they are going to take a force-on-force class.
Yeah, it's sharp.
Oh.
So
I had locked the
How you
door.
doing, sir?
What are you doing?
Not too much.
failure 1. Rid of that. Let's see this again. Once again, we look at this kind of stuff so we can learn from it as well as everybody else. This fella right here, approaching this fella right here.
And they're supposed to be playing. It's a police force on force, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a police force of use school or use of force school.
Use of force.
So they're actually playing the role of the police officers. So this is a school that a lot of them, they go to, and they, this is the stuff that they have to learn.
So essentially, everybody wearing a orange ankle band is a police officer or an instructor, and this guy is playing perpetrator. What I want you to notice, this guy walks up to him. Look how close he is. Way too close.
How you doing, sir?
What are you doing?
Not too much.
Right there. He goes for the gun, and he goes for the draw, and he's too late.
Yep. No good, man.
He didn't make it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Describe what you did and why.
I walked up because his hands were in his waist, so I couldn't see his hands. One thing I learned is you kind of
We're
watch
going
the
to
hands.
fast
So when I
forward
walked
through
up,
this a little bit
I didn't want
to the next
Let's
scene.
set up the. Okay, let's go back in real quick.
Mhm.
All right. So this next scene, he's going to approach somebody across a parking lot.
Hello.
And as you can see, if we look at this from a private citizen's point of view, if you're this private citizen, you see this guy whacking the crap out of this guy with a crowbar. And let's hear this guy's answers when he gets through with this particular drill.
Sir, put your hands in the air. Sir, put your hands in the air. Sir, put your hands in the air.
Still too close.
Way too close.
Are you okay, sir?
I'm good.
All right. You have a nice day. You off that ground. Sorry about that. Oh yeah.
All right.
Can't walk on with your gun out like that. It's not cool. Just walk on with the gun. Okay.
So, what were you thinking? Was it right away you got your gun and you started watching?
Well, he's hit him with a crowbar. So first thing I'm thinking is somebody's gonna die, real quick here. So it's gonna be the guy who's getting killed, or it's gonna be the guy who's killing, or they're gonna stop. So I tried to make him stop, and he didn't want to stop. And then he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna kill you with a crowbar." So I shot him. I mean,
Perfectly reasonable answer, right? To anybody who approaches this situation, right? But we want to go back here and check this out. He starts approaching. He waits till over here to draw. He's already seen a deadly weapon. How much distance is this? If we kind of measure this out, maybe 6, 12, 15, 18 feet here.
Yeah.
His gun should have been out over here on the concrete.
Yeah, that guy with that bar. If when he
He'd
started
turned
announcing
around,
it,
he
if he'd
wouldn't
have turned and just went for him,
He'd have been done.
He'd have been under the.
You see that right
Sir,
here.
put your hands in the air.
He's
Sir.
too close.
Yeah.
Way too close.
6 feet.
He's the firearm is not in his line of sight.
Nope.
Right? He's brought it up in the fishing motion, which what we call. It's not in his line of sight. He's got good target acquisition, but can he put multiple shots on there and make sure that he doesn't hit this guy? This dude's going to turn and almost get him.
Put your hands in the air. Sir, put your hands in the air.
There he goes.
Yeah.
Well, and they indexed it on that shot.
Yes.
Yep.
He was got.
Yeah, he was there.
He got him. We've said this before. Just because he's dead doesn't mean he's dead right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you watch, if he stopped, this fella stopped. If he hadn't stopped and given him the benefit of the doubt, this guy would have been done too, right? And then we like his answers.
Are you okay, sir?
We're going to go to the next
Sorry about
drill
that.
here.
Oh, yeah. Excuse me, sir.
This one's a person with a firearm call approaching him across the same parking lot.
Excuse me, sir.
The sound sucks on this one.
I'm okay. Are you all right, sir?
No.
I will tase you.
So, right there.
Right
there. He let him get too close right to begin with.
Well, and it was a firearm call.
Yeah, it was a firearm
I don't
call.
know any police officer that's going to go to a
his taser
firearm call with a
Excuse me, sir.
taser out.
No.
Excuse me, sir. I'm okay.
Too
Are you all
close.
right, sir?
Too close. Too late on
I
the
will tase
draw.
you, sir. And I would
Tase
tase him. I'm not going to die right now, right? Sorry.
He died.
Yeah, he died.
He died. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
He should have been moving this way.
He should have been. Don't back up. Move lateral.
Back up.
And when sometimes you got flat,
Just run.
turn heel and run.
Yeah.
Turn heel, run.
Yep.
Reacquire your position from distance, and
Yeah.
if you end up in a situation like that where all of a sudden it's too close, it's real hard to hit a moving target. Even running away, it's still hard to hit. But you peel, distance is your friend. We keep pushing on this. Time and distance, time and distance, time and distance. Sometimes they got the drop on you. Oh crap, that's too close.
Yeah.
Turn heel and
And
boom, bolt for that piece of cover.
You're either going to have to engage harder, use violence, or get out of there. One of the two.
Right.
One more drill that we're going to show you.
You said something good too. It's really hard to hit a moving target for you. It's also hard for him to hit one too.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It's hard for them to hit a moving target. So,
Next
Hello,
drill
sir.
up. Approaching
Not much. I've
man
heard
with
that
a disturbance call.
there's been reports of someone out here with a gun. So we was wanting to.
So this is phenomenal. Okay, he learned really quickly. Look at his distance. He's 25, 28 feet away. Okay, he's keeping his distance. Still fails this one, but he's keeping his distance.
Make sure everyone's safe out here. Yeah. You okay over here? Can I see your hands? Would that be okay? Can I see your hands? Thank you.
Right there. His hands are up. Order him to the ground. Get away from the bag, the chair, whatever weapon he may have. Order him to the ground, away from it.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I ask a couple questions? All right.
Don't approach.
What are you doing out here?
Don't approach.
Come right here.
Order him to the
Sir,
ground
please,
first.
Please put your hands back where I can see them. Please,
No.
sir, put your hands back where I can see them, please.
Okay. Good draw. He got it out early. The firearm's in his line of sight. He's got a good target acquisition. This guy doesn't have his firearm out yet. Kind of gave it away there, but he's turned. The problem is he got a good backstop? Woods, yes, we're good to go. This guy pulls a gun.
I'm guessing the instructors are giving him some little tidbits in between.
I
I'm
would
guessing
hope
this
so.
was this was quite a long day, and
Yes.
they're going through a lot of stuff. Of hey,
Right.
Quit it. Don't be, it's too close to this guy. So anyway,
Please put your hands where I can see them, sir.
okay, there you go. Here's where he makes the mistake.
Yeah. You get back up.
The dude
the
the dude automatically assumes that one shot puts down everything. No.
Like I watched that one interview with that Chicago detective.
Keep drilling him.
The first firefight he ever got into, they shot 6, 12, 17 rounds into the guy. 5'5" Hispanic guy. Guy was so stone cold sober. The first detective, his partner, put 6 .45 long Colts into him, then put 5 .38 Special Plus Ps touching, and the 45s were like 10, 15 feet. And then his partner finally came to him and then shot the guy 6 more times, got 6 hits on the guy with a 44 Magnum. The round that took him down, that let them apprehend him, was in the fray. He shot the guy in the knee. He couldn't stand back up and keep fighting. Guy lived for 10 days.
Yeah.
With about 1.5 pounds of lead in his ass.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some of the biggest calibers. This was in the mid 70s. I mean, 44 Magnum, 45 long Colt, 44 Magnum. Remember some big, people carry that in bear country for bear defense.
Yeah.
And this was a 5'5", 125-pound dude.
Yeah, they don't go down the first shot.
It's it's will to live.
You got product of the week for us?
I do. We came by one of these. This is made by MTM Case Guard company that makes the ammo cans we carry all the time. This is what they call a Jam It target stand. Comes, of course, it's all packaged up and everything, but the basic concept of it is it stands up like that. You can see in the picture there. It's pretty good, pretty cool. Basic target stand. You can hang whatever you want to on, put cardboard on it, targets on top of that. Big thing you don't want to do is shoot it right there like Jason did with his.
I wasn't the one that shot it.
Oh,
one of the kids shot it right at the Y.
Right at the Y.
Dismantled it. Yeah. Had it 10 minutes.
But,
oops.
Yeah. So anyway, these are about $20. You can make your own similar, but or make something like we have the wooden ones that video for that's on YouTube. But this is a good starter piece. Like I say, $20.
Lightweight.
You can lightweight. You can
Lightweight.
put in the car.
Lightweight. Simple.
Right.
A lot of gun ranges you go to don't have. Minerva Sportsmans Club is one. I know Tusco is one.
Yeah. They don't have
There's
stands.
a lot of gun ranges don't have target stands because
bring your own. So,
it's sad to say it, but most target stands, you leave them at the gun range, we'll get just the snot shot out of them.
Yeah, it'll be there about a day, and that's it.
Certainly.
But anyway, these are easy to set up. You put a piece of cardboard in the top here, on these tabs, and then staple targets to that. And when you get done, you pull it back up, put it in your car, and away you go. So probably a good thing to have, for $20. Last for a while, anyway.
Yeah.
But pretty
good. As long as you don't
product.
shoot it, it probably lasts quite a while.
Probably would.
Yep. So anyway,
that's what we got for you guys tonight. Everybody, thanks for stopping by. You could have been out doing something else, but you were here talking with us. Hopefully we all learned something tonight, and we will be here next Friday, same time, 7:10. Got a full gamut of classes and stuff that we're doing over the weekend. Work day at the club tomorrow, so a pretty busy weekend. Hopefully everybody has a safe and fun-filled Memorial Day weekend. A little off time, a little barbecuing, and we will see you back here next Friday, 7:10. Thanks, guys.
See ya.